The rupee strengthened to its highest level in more than a month as the government finally bites the deregulation bullet. Diesel prices have been partially deregulated, which means state-owned oil market companies like IOC, BHP and Hindustan Petroleum can now periodically revise diesel prices. This has boosted hopes that the widening fiscal deficit cap can now be controlled. A gradual rise in diesel prices would also reduce its inflationary impact. On your screens, the rupee shut shop today at 54.38. We have seen good gains coming in for the currency. 0.5% up is how the day closed. Let's get in then. Samiran Chakraborty, he's Regional Head Research, India Standard Chartered Bank, and he joins us in Mumbai live. Samiran, hi, welcome. First of all, how are you reading the diesel price partial deregulation and its impact on the rupee?
Well, it's a positive move, but we are yet to find out the details of this scheme, so we don't know to what extent the subsidy will be removed or at what pace it will be removed. But the fact that the government is walking the talk is giving confidence to the markets that it's serious about fiscal consolidation, and that's why we have seen substantial improvement in rupee on the back of that. Our sense is that if the actual announcement shows something like a gradual deregulation or a substantial 3 rupee kind of one-time increase, then that would be taken positively by the markets, and the INR can come down a bit more downwards. We think that even a below 54 number is possible in the near term, although structurally we still feel that as long as the trade deficit, current account deficit stays high, INR is a weak currency.
Samiran, also ahead of the policy meeting on Jan 29th, what are your expectations? And ahead of that, how do you see the trajectory for rupee?
What this diesel price hike does is that it also gives RBI a little bit more elbow room to go for a rate cut. Having always talked about fiscal deficit reduction being one of the preconditions for rate cut, I think this will give RBI comfort to go in for a 25 basis point cut on the 29th. In the last couple of days, the market has been somewhat anxious with some of the comments from the governor about inflation still being high. I guess those concerns will come down now if we see a substantial diesel price hike or a path of diesel price deregulation. So in that sense, that would also be a positive for INR if that 25 basis point rate cut comes on the 29th.
Samiran, just to do a number crunching here really, because after that diesel partial deregulation news did come in, you did see the rupee jump up nearly 0.9%, but the closing has been at just 0.5% on the higher side. Do you think markets are factoring this in? Because with all the positive and the bad news that we have seen coming in, 54 hasn't reached, nor has 55.5 on the higher side.
Absolutely. It's now a range-bound trade where a market is looking for signals to break this range. In my view, one of the big signals would be a substantial reduction in the trade deficit. If the monthly trade deficit number comes to about 15 billion, so that could break the lower bound. And on the upper bound, if for some risk-off event in the global markets, if FII flows stop, let's not forget that in the first half of the month, we have got close to $2 billion of FII inflows. If this run rate of FII inflows don't continue, then it can try to break the 55 half mark on the upside. So we need now big triggers to break this range. Otherwise, this seems to be a pretty comfortable range in which the rupee is hovering around.
Well, absolutely. Vijay, getting you in the conversation as well. On the charts, the 0.5% move up, how does it look?
Manisha, yesterday we talked about support for the USDINR at 54.25, and today I'm seeing an intraday support at 54.2675 in the January futures. I think tomorrow that support is likely to break, and if it does break, I would give it a maximum decline of 53.65 to maybe 53.80 band. That is where I would like to buy USDINR again, because the diesel price hike and imposition of any kind of import duty on edible or crude oil prices will ultimately start showing in a higher inflation figures 3 to 4 weeks down the line with a small lag. So there again, the appreciation of the rupee is likely to be limited to 53.60, 53.65 levels again.
All right, so a good day today, but whether it continues forward is something that we will need to watch out for. Samir and Vijay, thank you so much for taking time out for us.